Welcome back to Sky Sports News. Some breaking news reaching us now. The Brazil head coach Tite looks to have confirmed that he's leaving his role following that stunning quarter-final defeat by Croatia earlier today.
Yeah, Brazil going out on penalties. Tite, who's been in charge of Brazil since 2016, had suggested he'd only stay on until after the tournament in Qatar after signing a 4-year contract extension back in 2018.
Yeah, it looks as though he's confirmed he'll be leaving in this post-match news conference.
Oh my goodness. Brazil are out of the World Cup. They have lost to Croatia on penalties. The Brazilian fans are sobbing in the stadium. The players are sobbing. They have gone. Marquinhos took the last one for Brazil. He hit the post. Alisson, Liverpool's Alisson, failed to save a single penalty. Croatia are into the semi-finals again. Would you credit it? Brazil.
It's a complete team effort, and we shouldn't even be surprised because 2018, didn't they get to 3 knockout extra time anyway? They know it, they like it, they can handle it, handle that pressure. But look, Brazil going out, who coming into the tournament, so many people, favourites, they were my favourites. I hold up my hands. I remember saying on the first game, yep, Brazil all the way to the final. But this is a World Cup that just keeps throwing up surprises and keeps giving and giving.
I mean, the question is, how can they look so good in one game, Brazil, and how poor and look poor at times in this one? But that's down to them. That's down to the Croatians.
Yeah, I mean, you are not as good as your opponents are. And I think Croatia today, they were resilient. They were always fighting back. I think second half was clearly going to Brazil. You know, they had 4, 5, 6 chances to score a goal. We thought it's all over with Neymar's beautiful goal, but they were just never giving up, and it's just fantastic that mentality that they have, the resilience that they have, and it shows off. It shows off that it's a small nation, but all their players play in the top leagues in Europe. Yeah. They're all top players.
We said that mental toughness before the game, didn't we? Like I said, played with the Croatian players, and it's that attitude never to give in. When Neymar scores that goal, you think it's all over. They was like, we'll fight to the end. And they got the goal, and they were absolutely brilliant. They changed up the way they played, pressed high, then dropped deep, and that togetherness got them through in the end.
Novakovic has had a sensational tournament. He was great again today. He set the tone for the shoot-up by saving the first one.
Oh, he really did. Throughout, when you think about the game as well, the big moments that he came up, made some crucial saves. And I think this carries on from the last game against Japan. They know the confidence, the ability that, okay, we're going through on penalties or we're at this stage again, but we believe we are going to progress.
It's heartbreak, isn't it, though? You see Marquinhos there. I thought it was a shooting to score. With his experience, the player he is, the way he's played in this tournament, I thought he would have the courage to put it in, but it wasn't meant to be, and I feel so sorry for that man Neymar. It wasn't his best game today, but he got his goal, but it wasn't enough.
It's always, we say it every time, that's always the danger, isn't it? If you save your main man to take the final penalty and you don't get that far, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, they're totally different approaches, obviously, for managers, you know, and recently, over the last years, you always saw the best penalty taker take the first one, set the tone, you know, make sure, and don't keep him for the fifth, basically, because he might not get the chance to.
So when you set up, was your best penalty taker always take the number one?
For me, Neymar would have been the #1 penalty taker. Just set the tone, make sure you're going to score the first one, calm everybody else down. The momentum shifted with Croatia's equalizer. Absolutely, 2 minutes before the end of the extra time. You know, what goes through your mind then if you're a Brazilian player? Then you suddenly get scared, and you know the whole nation is expecting from you to go through to the semifinals. Oh my gosh! And then you start to panic a little bit in your mind, and you're far more nervous then because you don't have any time anymore to kind of balance yourself out and relax a second.
Some real contrasting scenes down there at the moment. the kids of the Croatian players have been allowed onto the field, so they're all celebrating with their dads down there, and yet at the other end, the Brazilian fans have stayed. A lot of the Brazilian fans have stayed. Obviously, there are a lot leaving, as you saw there, but the ones behind the goal have stayed. And it's like they're in shock, Micah.
Disbelief.
And the players are standing in front of them in disbelief as well.
They can't believe it because they were so close, but yet so far. And we all thought probably Brazil would see out the game. It wasn't meant to be. And it's like they can't believe because the fans here have been brilliant. But in fairness to the Croatia team,
I just saw one of the fair. Do you know what? One of the Croatian. You're watching some celebrations here, but right down on the pitch now. I'm going to say this whilst you look at this. One of the Croatian kids ran away from that celebration to try and talk to Neymar, and a Brazilian security guy came over and went no. And actually, Neymar then got up, turned around, spoke to the little boy, and then walked over. Let's show you the Croatian equalising goal once again. Petkovic's first goal for his country in over 2 years, Alan.
And how important and what a time to score. It comes from Guardiola, massive tackle first from Fred. But so many players upfield at the moment, that tackle is what I'm talking about. 20 years old, the tournament that he's had, that then gives the belief to Croatia to go, OK, we're going to go down the other end, build on this momentum. Modric right there showing some composure and then going on to score. Yeah,
but like you said there, Brazil should be trying to hold on to what they have. Don't get caught upfield. Orsic comes on, and it's a wonderful, like Chap has said before, first goal in 2 years. A little bit lucky with the deflection off Marquinhos, but fully deserved for taking that risk in the end. And yeah, it was always... It's not nice to see the scenes, when you feel like you've let your team down at the end when you're so close from Brazil's point of view. But from Croatia's point of view, it was brilliant. There
were probably 6 Brazilians upfield when Guardiola won that tackle, which is also that balance between kill it off and not leaving yourself too early.
I mean, we had that feeling throughout the entire 120 minutes that Brazil today didn't have the last piece of quality, the last piece of killing instinct to say we're gonna finish things off. We were all happy, obviously, after Neymar's game, saying, no, okay, they got the job done, but the job was never done. So they didn't have that quality today, and they will think about it so many times now over the next few years, saying, why didn't we score the second goal? We had enough chances, half chances or whatever. Why did we let them come back into this game? Why weren't we not attentive enough in the last 2 minutes not to let them run up the field again and create that chance? I mean, obviously now they are devastated. They are devastated. They don't comprehend what just happened.
And